Alright, we are hopping onto the highway since putting the gas tank back in the car. Alright, this is not a highway, but it's a main road. Just gonna go a little bit. Feels plenty good. Oh yeah, feels good. Alright, let's hop in the highway. Gonna go through my neighborhood again, and then we'll be able to make our way back onto a main road to a gas station. Alright, we are on the main road heading towards the gas station. So as you see, got a microphone. Hopefully it sounds a little better. Hopefully you can actually hear me. I think I might need to get a longer cable though, because it is kind of right where I shift. Oh well. So I did end up tightening the fuel sender down. I just had it in incorrectly, that's why it was leaking. But once we put gas in, that will confirm that it's all good now. I didn't end up replacing the gasket. I might need to still, but hey, we'll find out once we get to the gas station. Not too busy out on the road today. It's a Sunday and this road is full of churches, so there's always like cops doing traffic. Usually busy, but I guess church is going on right now. Miles per hour is almost 3,000 RPM. We do have a loss of power, and I'm thinking that's because of that bad gas that I put in it. We got up the hill. We are kind of shaking a little bit. Lots of stuff vibrates in this car. Lots of stuff. Alright, we made it over the hill. We are coming up to the gas station. Pull off here and top it off a little bit. Alrighty. And goes to the same pump we went to last time. I didn't quite fill it up, but we're like 3/4. We're almost there. Starts up immediately. I don't know if that's just like a British car thing or a Weber thing, but I don't know, it starts immediately, like as soon as you breathe on the key. Yeah, we're just over half tank, almost 3/4. That should be plenty to test out if it's leaking or not. I do think we are actually leaking gas onto the ground. The rubber fuel sender hose that goes from like the fill cap to the tank, it was cracked a little bit. Probably should have replaced that, but it's super easy to get to, so if that is what's leaking, you know, we can pull off the panel and check, but if that is what's leaking, no big deal really. Think about. I moved out here to Georgia about 3 years ago, a little over 3 years ago. That's actually 3 years and a month from now, something like that. And shortly after coming out here, I bought this car. For some reason, I thought it would be a good idea to buy a British car as my daily driver. And this was the only car I had registered and that I could legally drive. I had another car, but I couldn't legally drive it, and then the Corvette as well, but that wasn't running at the time. But man, I daily drove this for 6 months, drove it to work, drove it on the highway, the freeway a couple times, went to Harbor Freight plenty of times in this, and did a couple date nights in this. This is a fun date night car, that's for sure. And probably did more car shows in this car than any other car I've done, period. Now a lot of them were just regular car meets, nothing special, but still. And then of course took like 2 years off of not doing anything in this car. Ever since it started stalling on me, it almost left me stranded twice for coming home from 2 different car shows, and it just put a sour taste in my mouth and couldn't figure out what the issue was. You know, now we know. Ended up being super simple, but that's the way it is. But in that downtime, kind of realized that even though this is a really cool car, really unique, everyone wants to talk about this car when they see it. Made me realize that I prefer my Corvette, prefer my truck. This is really cool, but in its stock form, I had my fun with it. Basically, that's how I can put it. But I am really glad I got to drive a stock Spitfire and experience that. I'm sure there's not many people that can say they've driven a car with less than 100 horsepower, 4-speed, no power steering, no power brakes, just all manual. Well, back in the neighborhood now. Uneventful drive, which is exactly what I want. Everything is working. I feel good in this. I feel like I could take this to a car show now and make it there and back. Now, I don't quite want to like take it to work, commute to work, because that's almost an hour there, an hour back. That would be rough in traffic. But let's see if we can find a car show lined up in a weekend. Maybe take this out for its final car show before we are ready to start cleaning it up and prepping it for a sale. If anyone had any doubts, look at that. No fuel seepage, and we are right at 3/4 of a tank. So, yeah, I just had it in wrong. If you take a look at it now, this is the orientation. I think I had it more straight up, a little to the left, clocked. This is the correct orientation, and now everything is sealed correctly.